Hello, and welcome to a new episode of The Key, Inside Higher Ed's news and analysis podcast. I'm Doug Letterman, co-founder of Inside Higher Ed. Today we're featuring a discussion involving our student success editor, Melissa Ezarik, and leaders at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville, which is playing host to the Student Success US 2024 conference next month. In the conversation that follows, Melissa speaks with Donde Plowman, UT Knoxville's chancellor, and Amber Williams, the university's vice provost for student success, about the strides UT Knoxville has made to bolster the success of its students and the student success event Tennessee will be hosting in conjunction with IHE and our partner Times Higher Education. Now here's Inside Higher Ed's Melissa Ezarik.
Thank you, Doug. Dr. Plowman, Dr. Williams, it's so nice to be talking with both of you today. To start, in recent years, we've seen student success become a larger focus at so many colleges and universities. Can you give us a bit of perspective on how you have seen student success within higher ed progressing and evolving? Donde, I'd love to start with you.
Thank you so much for that question. We're excited about what we're doing here, and I think it's unique from other schools, but everywhere I go, presidents and chancellors tell me student success is their number one priority. And as a land-grant institution, it's our responsibility not just to attract and educate students, but to do it in an efficient way. And so those outcomes are important in delivering on our mission.
Amber, what student success work at UT Knoxville are you most proud of, and do you think makes your institution stand out in this area? Just one thing that stands out to me is your robust student success department page. You have inspirational words there. You've got the list of helpful resources that are easy to find, and I know that your programs are robust as well.
I think what makes us excited about our work is that it's led by the students. So everything we do is because it's what our students have said they need, and we believe that anything that they need, that it's our responsibility to deliver. Why you're seeing such energy across our campus, across our faculty, across our staff is because we're all walking towards the same goal, which is to ensure that every student that enrolls on this campus, that they're thriving. The last thing I would say that's a little unique about our campus is we are a strengths-based campus, meaning that we're focused in on what students do well. And we're focused in on helping build their confidence. We have high expectations. We are also committed to providing the resources that they need to thrive. And it's not just a division that is a part of that conversation. It is the entire campus. Literally, every faculty and staff member are committed to the success of our students.
You know what I'm most proud of? You did not use a single metric in answering that question. And seriously, while we have great metrics and I'm thrilled with them and we can talk about them, I'm really excited that what we're doing here is based on a philosophy, a philosophy of student well-being and actually all human beings' well-being, but We're focusing on students. So it's a philosophy, and as we mentioned about the strengths is one part of it. And guess what's happened? The metrics all are flowing exactly like we want them to do, but I love the fact that we're focusing on the students, their potential for success, their strengths, their well-being, and that's what I'm really proud of.
It's funny you bring that up because when I arrived in 2020, everyone was, there was that goal that we were going to hit 90% retention by 2020, actually.
Okay, sorry, we do have a few metrics.
Yeah, and we had been at that 86%, and so the campus was really, I would say, disheartened, because a lot of people had put in lots of work to try to move the needle on that retention rate, and it just hadn't moved. And so what I started telling the team is let's focus less on the number and let's focus more on the people. At the time, our first year class was like 5,200 students. So I said, look, y'all, we can find 52 students because 1% was 52 students. I was like, we can find and support 52 more students. And so we kind of shifted it from those outcomes and those metrics to the people, and thinking about that every single percentage point is a group of humans that have dreams and desires, and we can figure out how to get them there. It really has been one of the guiding forces behind what we've been doing.
I love, though, the way you reduce it to a chunk That's so smart motivationally.
Do you think in talking with others within higher ed that framing it that way is not something that is done as often?
I think it's very unique to us. I don't hear anyone talking about it. Now, we're going to be having this big national conference, and people are going to learn more about what we do, helping everyone with this. Because honestly, when Amber arrived and began standing up this division, her observation was, our students have the skills, and they've been taught really well in the classroom. It doesn't make sense that the retention rates are what they are.
Absolutely.
That was motivation to get something moving in a new direction. And boy, I couldn't be happier without.
Melissa, your question is really good. I speak all over the country about student success and how to build thriving units. And no, people aren't like breaking it down into chunks. People really are working towards this bigger goal of whatever has been set by the administration. It's always great to have aspirational goals. But, you know, one of my framings for leadership is that you lead through people, priorities, and then projects. People is the first thing. If you don't get the people part right, the rest of it doesn't work. By focusing on the people first to get to that goal, I feel like is how we've been able to move forward so quickly.
I think another big piece of it, Amber, honestly, is this word I keep coming back to a lot, which is alignment.
Yes.
And what we have on this campus that you can't buy, you got to build it, and I'm really fortunate. It's happened, and it's continuing to grow. It's just really good alignment. You know, you can take it all the way to the board, the chair of the board of trustees, the president, the chancellor, the provost, the vice provost. But in this case, our students and the faculty and the TAs and the department heads and the deans. And you say we're a strengths campus. It's hard to find somebody on this campus who hasn't heard about strengths. Now, not everybody can tell you their top 5 strengths.
We're getting there.
But students know. If I see them on campus, I'll say, tell me what your top 5 strengths are. And because the alignment is we're all using it. I use it with my team. You have campuses where, student success, that's the provost's job. Or that's the business school's job for their students. That doesn't produce the results you want. And Lumber's led the way on some of this. We're learning how to redeploy people into the kind of work we want people to be doing versus maybe what they were doing. To have a whole week of activities the first week of school, and one night, we have 7,000 kids in the union, filling the place, doing what I would call really wholesome activities.
The alignment piece is important. It's something that I talk about a lot. There's got to be alignment amongst the administration on what the goals are. And having a chancellor and a provost that 100% are behind the success of our students makes my job really easy. At backing and support, it sets the tone for the culture of the campus, and it has a lot to do with our success.
Are you the one of many who keep their strengths as part of their email signature even?
I don't put it out as a tagline on my email, but I'm strategic achiever, positivity, futuristic, maximizer, and woo is 6.
But it's on her website. If you go to the chancellor's page, every member of the chancellor's cabinet has their strengths out there. She works with them on their strengths all the time. Definitely within student success, we all have our strengths, the student life team. But you know what's really great is that 500 of our faculty have done the strengths assessment and are utilizing it as well. And they're adopting it in some ways in their classroom, and they're also thinking about how they can even strengthen the work in their departments. And we've used the knowledge we've learned from strengths to better understand our students and to think about how we can support them differently. So, for example, we hosted this conference last year called the Thrive Summit. Arthur Brooks was our speaker at the Thrive Summit, and super excited that he'll be at the Inside Higher Ed conference as well. He's phenomenal. At that conference, we talked about how to adopt a well-being and pedagogy into the classroom. And we had a specific session on how to enhance student strengths in the classroom. There were probably 50 or so faculty in that session, and we gave them resources about how they could adopt some activities in their classroom that align with the work they're doing in the classroom, but also helps elevate a student's strengths at the same time, which ultimately we believe will help engage them and empower them.
I think what was cool too about the faculty is that nobody said, here, you need to do this. It just kind of came naturally. They're saying, So what is this strengths thing that all the students are doing? Amber's even been over to departments, yes, well, I won't name them, but certain departments that you would not imagine, saying, can you lead us in a strengths thing?
Yes, it's been great.
Sounds like you're all walking the walk and talking the talk.
We're trying.
In terms of your recent efforts, one thing from a service standpoint that kind of stands out to me is your extended services initiative. 3 days a week, some offices are open till 8 p.m. now. Has that started this fall?
Yes, it started this fall right after Labor Day. We have Student Success Express. And this was, again, born out of our students saying that they needed to see us outside of normal business hours. And I had one student in particular that said, I have class all day and then I go to work, but I need to go talk. A specific student wanted to go speak with a career coach, and, we closed at 5 o'clock and it couldn't work for him. And again, by listening to our students, that's how we've guided our work. And so after having some conversations with students, we went back to the team and I said, this is what our students are saying. They're saying they need support in the evening. So how can we make this work? And it's been such a phenomenal project, and it's been the whole division is on board with this. So we're all taking turns. So it means that from a well-being perspective of our staff, because you have over 100 people volunteering, that means nobody has more than 2 shifts a semester. And I have office hours in the evening as well. It's from 5 until 8 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And it's been phenomenal. We've had students come by to get guidance like academic coaching if they've had some struggles with some of their courses and they want to figure out how to work through study skills. I will tell you, our most popular sessions have actually been our career coaching and career workshops. We're not even fully a month in, but we have been thrilled with it, and it's something we are absolutely going to continue doing. And we've been busy, so I can only imagine what it's going to look like towards the end of the semester after midterms and students are getting ready for finals.
So I would imagine you're tracking the outcomes in terms of extra students reached or extra sessions.
Absolutely. And one thing I would say is kind of a note for us that is helping us is that not every office is open. So what we've done is taken the offices and moved them to the library. Our library is like the living room of the campus. It's a beautiful space. It's lots of traffic. And so we bring the services to the library in the evening, which is where the students are already at. That is part of the reason that we've been so successful, because we're not saying go to 5 different offices on campus. We're saying, no, where you're at. All these people are here, and there's peer learning assistants. Whatever you need is here, and we're here too. And we've also been hosting workshops in the evenings at the same place where the Student Success Express is being housed. And we've seen increased attendance in some of those workshops because it's co-marketed with the Student Success Express.
That's wonderful. It seems like one of those things that everybody kind of gets from a logical level. It would be great to do that, but in terms of actually implementing it, not so easy.
We had some people who were like, are you sure you can pull this off? Absolutely. Together, we can do anything. Separately, it wouldn't have been successful if every office would have opened their own. And but I also think it's been good for our team. Actually, I just met with our team members earlier today. It's been good for their well-being to also build relationships from other staff from other offices, because they're working shifts together. So they're also sharing information and just being more creative and building their own relationships by taking on these shifts as well.
That's a key part of the essence of student success work, wanting to break down silos further and get to know people. So a natural way to do that.
We spend a lot of time here talking about how do we move this big, huge ship that's the university, move it more quickly than, we would, and sometimes happens. And stories like that are just so reinforcing that when you let people figure it out on their own, they come up with so much more creative solutions. That just inspires me, that story, so much, that this ship is moving. And it's student-centered, and then it's, let's let the staff try to solve that problem. That inspires me.
So when you think about student success and perhaps specific populations of students who are launching or continuing in college, what worries you the most?
I think one of the things that I didn't know enough to be worried about before I took this job was the idea that you can't treat every student the same. I didn't know that. If I had known it, I should have been really worried, because one bland approach to student success that's the same for everyone, it's not going to work. And so one of the things I like here is the way Amber's team continues to find specialized groups, people with common needs, and work with them. So why don't you take it from there?
I don't know if I would say it worries me, but I feel this sense of responsibility that if we admit a student to the University of Tennessee, that we graduate them and that we help them to find the careers that they're looking for. And that responsibility, I would say in some ways, weighs on me because I understand that we're dealing with people's dreams, and the smallest thing can sometimes divert a person from their dream. Now, I know that there are many pathways to get to a dream, and so my hope is that we're providing the resources to help them navigate whatever pathway that is, and it doesn't have to be the straight and narrow pathway. And so I guess if there's anything that worries me, it would be that a young person chooses to change the dream because they don't see a clear path. And if that happens, then I feel like that's on us. It's our responsibility to connect with them, to get them the right resources, and to help them figure out what is the appropriate path to thrive. And that path looks different for every person. They all come to the table with different lived experiences. They all come to the table with their own anxieties and fears. And so it's figuring out how to understand the essence of an individual so that we can kind of help them walk down whatever path that might be.
Individual students, individual dreams, individual pitfalls, and things to look out for, right?
Yes.
And having said that, one of the things that I'm so encouraged by, again, it's maybe it relates to this idea of scaling, but in this division, they have identified that there are certain risks that, let's say, veterans face that aren't faced by 18-year-old students.
Yes.
And there are certain risks that young people from small schools in rural parts of Tennessee face, or first-generation students, or men of color for us. That's another unique group. And so you take the combination of every one of those students has a dream, and yet they share challenges or risks with some other folks who have their dreams. And I think I'm really proud of the way the Division of Student Success has found ways to bring people together and deliver services in a really smart way that does both pursue your dream and at the same time, hey, here's some folks who may even have similar dreams to you, but we know they've got some of the same types of opportunities ahead of them.
So you're kind of leading into my next question about what celebrate the most.
91.9% retention rate on that. I'm so proud that we've done that in 5 years. That's unheard of, honestly. I think the other thing is that our 4-year graduation rate has moved. And, of course, the great thing about the retention moving is that we're going to really feel that in the graduation rates in another couple years. So that's important because this state does not have enough young people, period, with college degrees. And we have businesses moving here like crazy. And right now, there are 360,000 jobs vacant in Tennessee that require a 4-year degree. And so we're doing two things in student success. We're absolutely helping every one of these young people find their dreams, learn their strengths, and be successful in college. But we're also responding to the state's need for a workforce. And that's something to be proud of, the workforce part of it. That hasn't always been on the tip of our tongue as a university to say, we owe industry good workers. I really feel strongly that we owe industry, communities, organizations, people prepared for the future. And so that's really why I'm emotional about the success we're having, is because the state can do better, and I see us contributing to that.
It's a good place to be in, that's for sure. And we will be joining you October 28, 29, and 30 for the Student Success US Conference on your campus. We're so glad you're hosting it. So Inside Higher Ed and Times Higher Education will be there with you putting on this event. And can you each tell me what you're most looking forward to?
Well, first of all, thank you for letting us partner with you.
Yes.
I think the thing I'm most looking forward to is meeting folks from other universities and hearing and learning what they're doing as well.
Yes.
I'm excited about that, and I'm excited for people to hear what we're doing.
I would just echo what the chancellor said. I attended your conference last year, and it was such a phenomenal learning experience. One of the things that I really appreciated about the conference is that it was a conference where it was very engaging. So it wasn't people just lecturing at us, but we were a part of the conversation. And so I look forward to being a part of this year's conversation as well. So I really just value the way the conference is organized, and I think it really does create the opportunity to build relationships, to make connections and networks, but to learn at the same time. I guess I'm also super excited. We have some phenomenal keynote speakers that I think are just going to inspire the community, and I think further, push us forward and think differently from the panel that Chancellor Plowman and other presidents will be on, where they'll be talking about how to lead. What does it look like leading with integrity in this environment right now? Or whether it's Dr. Arthur Brooks, who will be talking to us about how to adopt happiness and well-being inside and outside of the classroom, or the CEO of Gallup or the Vice President of Lumina talking to us about the state of higher education. So I'm thrilled to have our colleagues on campus, and I can't wait.
Looking forward to all the conversations, seeing people come together from different departments. Love when people bring multiple members of their team campus too. We're looking forward to that again. We are grateful that you all want to welcome us to your city and to your campus.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to partner with you, and we look forward to seeing everyone.
Thank you to all of our listeners today. We've just heard from Dr. Donde Plowman and Dr. Amber Williams, two University of Knoxville, Tennessee executive leaders, as they discussed the institution's strength-based, people-first approaches to student success. Hope to see you at the Student Success US Conference next week.